Hi, I'm Jamie.
Hi, I'm Geoff.
I have axSpA.
And I have AS.
So we are both qualified yoga teachers, and we've worked now with hundreds and hundreds of people living with AS, axSpA, spondyloarthritis.
And over that time, we've realized that the stretching and the movement has to be modified for people with AS, and that's what we've been doing today.
You may have tried movement, you may have tried exercise, and it might have made things worse, put you in a flare, and you came away feeling really quite frustrated. We've realized that it's important to make it accessible, to make it safe, and to leave you feeling excited and empowered so you can keep moving for your axSpA and AS. So we're really excited to share with you these sessions, and we do hope you enjoy.
So whatever level you feel you're at, there's some movement, some stretching you can do. The idea is that you will feel a little bit looser afterwards and good the next day, not worse during, worse after. So we've built that over quite a few years now, and we hope you enjoy. Welcome to our session of movement for your necks and your sacroiliac joints. And I'll just explain a little about sacroiliac joints, because mine are both fused after many years, but your joints are here. And we all get that pain that radiates down through the buttocks, often just on one side, down through the hip. And for many years, I didn't know that that was sacroiliac inflammation. So that's an important way to start. And also to say that I have 3 vertebrae in my neck that are fused now. So I do know about the need to keep moving in your neck. And we're going to start seated now. And I use notes for my teaching as well, so I will refer to them. And we'll start by just sitting nice and tall and comfortably on your chair. Feet are hip width apart, knees are hip width apart, and just sit as tall and as comfortably as you can. Breathing in, on the out breath, take the right ear to the right shoulder. Very gentle. We're doing this on the relaxing out breath, not trying to force anything, and try to keep the top points of the shoulders here level. And you can take the ear to the side or just in front, and you may feel a stretching in the trapezius muscles here, and that's good, but it wants to be a gentle stretch. Our motto is stretch, not strain. Stay safe. Breathe into the pose. And then come back to center and just relax your shoulders. We always repeat for the other side. So breathing in from the belly. On the out breath, take the left ear to the left shoulder. And you may find you have more movement on one side than you do on the other. And you can alter the angle there a little bit. And we don't want to stay here for too long. Again, remember to keep the shoulders level. The head is quite heavy, so we don't want a cantilever effect into the neck. We don't want to put too much strain on your neck, particularly if you have some fusion, as I do. And then come back to center. So that's a really nice, simple, easy way to start moving your neck. And now we'll move to some neck rotations. So again, sitting nice and comfortably, sitting as tall as you can. Try not to round the back. What AS is constantly trying to do is to get our spine into a C shape, whereas we want to try and keep the natural S shape of the spine. So lifting the front of the chest from a point in the spine just below the shoulder blades and relaxing the shoulders down. Breathing in. On the out breath, just turn the neck to the right. And try not to use your strength to rotate the neck. Many of us, before we have fusion, we have a hardening, a stiffening, a shortening of the soft tissues there, the ligaments and tendons. and breathe into the pose, breathing softly and gently in your own natural rhythm. And if you want to accentuate a little, you can turn the eyes to look over without moving the neck too much. Keep breathing. Most of the movement in our stretching today is on the out breath, the relaxing out breath. And then come back to center. Just roll the shoulders to relax again. And again, we always do both sides. You may find you have more rotation to one side than to the other. I move more to the right than I do to the left. So, breathing in, move on the out breath, turning to the left, keeping the right shoulder back, and just relaxing into this. This is about maintaining the range of movement, of motions that you may have, as much as it is on improving. Breathing softly and gently in your own natural rhythm. And again, you can turn the direction of the eyes to look a little bit to the left as well, but try to keep the right shoulder back. And then very slowly come out of the pose. Always come out of a stretching pose, nice and slowly. You've probably worked harder than you think you have. And now we'll do a neck retraction in order to lengthen the back of the neck. And I'll just explain why. So AS is always trying to get us to round our back like so. And then when we're sat all day, we tend to be looking at a screen like that and we get this jut jaw. So we're constantly being drawn into arching the back of the neck there. So what we're trying to do is to retract and lengthen the back of the neck. Breathing in. On the out breath, just take the chin back and feel the lengthening. This shouldn't be uncomfortable. In our kind of modified movement for AS, we're always aiming for the comfortable position, not the one that feels like a strain, and definitely not one that is hurting. And then to come out of the pose, just relax. So now, when we are thinking about movement modified for AS, we're very keen that people don't feel a group pressure, where you look around the room and think, oh, that person is doing such and such a move. So it may be that in our second round, you want to carry on and repeat what we've just done, in which case, copy what Jamie is doing, and he will do just the ear to the shoulder and the rotation. But I'm going to come to lying on the floor. And this is a way of doing the rotation and the retraction, just using gravity. So it may be that you do this on a yoga mat on the floor, or you might have a blanket to soften the ball, or you can even do it on your bed, whichever is comfortable for your spine, because you may have inflammation in your spine and it's difficult to lie on the floor as well as get to the floor. So coming to the end of your mat here, first of all we'll just do the rotation and the retraction. So having the knees raised, come to a comfortable position where your arms are away from the body. The arms are straight at about 45 degrees. Roll the shoulders out, palms are face up. And now you can just rotate the head to the left. And this may feel a little bit easier, a little bit more relaxed. We're just using gravity to help us. we have a blanket, or sorry, a cushion underneath the head for comfort. And allow the tummy to relax down towards the inner spine, breathing softly and gently. Now to come back to center, the head is quite heavy, so give yourself a hand, take both hands to the side of the head and just gently lift the head back to the center. If you don't do that, you're putting too much strain on the neck. Breathing in, on the out breath, rotate the neck over to the right. And as I said earlier, some of you may have more movement to one side than to the other. And you can do this, as I said, lying on your bed, lying on a blanket on the floor, but do for comfort have something underneath your head. If your head doesn't comfortably go back to the floor, you really should have something underneath the head. So again, relaxing, breathing softly and gently. Then taking the hands to the side of the head, help the head to come back to center. And now we'll just do a little retraction, a modification on the retraction. And place another cushion just underneath your back. And lie over it, keeping the back of the buttocks on the ground and the shoulders to the ground. You can see now we're getting a bit of a back bend, a stretch through the front of the body. Have the knees raised and the soles of the feet to the floor. Knees are no more than hip width apart. Take the shoulders down to the floor. Take the arms away from the body. The arms are straight and the palms are face up. And now just look down the body past the tip of the nose. And look more towards the wall rather than the ceiling. If you look to the ceiling, you're likely to arch the back of the neck. And what we're wanting to do is get some lengthening here, some movement into the back of the neck, some stretching into the back of the neck there. Breathing in, bring the chest to the chin and allow the chin to draw down slightly to the chest. And look down the body and breathe. And now Jamie will continue with the simpler, easier options. And one of the things that we say in our kind of movement for AS is that it's not competitive. It's not like the Olympics. So we really want to think carefully about whether we want to accentuate the movement. But if this was comfortable for you, what you can do is just straighten the legs. Taking the heels to the floor and have the toes pointing straight up initially. As you relax, if the toes splay out to the side, you may get discomfort in the sacroiliac joint. So if you do, bring the toes up, take the heels out slightly to the sides. And continue to have the gaze of the eyes down the body, past the tip of the nose, looking towards a wall rather than the ceiling. And again, if you wish to extend again, If this is comfortable, if you're feeling a stretch but it's not a strain, if the back bend isn't too much for you, if you're feeling a good lengthening in the back of the neck, and if that feels good, then you may wish to extend by, on the in-breath, raising the arms and taking the arms overhead and place them comfortably somewhere behind you. You can have the arms bent, bring the hands together. You can take the hands to the elbows. You can take the arms out to a cactus position. That's a bit uncomfortable for me. So I'll just take the hands to the elbows. And at any time you can come out of the pose, you can relax. If it feels too much for you, come out of the pose, back off. So if this feels too much, breathe in, take the arms back down. If that's still too much, then raise the knees. So you can see you have lots of options here. And to come out of the pose, roll nice and slowly to one side and remove the cushion from your back and come to a comfortable sitting position. So now we'll come back to some chair work. And have a little shake out, bit of a stretch. Take a few breaths. Always between stretches, between movement, just reset the foundation. Where are we starting from? So coming to a sitting tall on your chair, we're going to move more from the neck movements to the sacroiliac movements. And in this one, you may have experienced quite a lot of pain over the years, stiffness and fatigue. I do know what that's like. And so this is best done at a time when you're not in the most pain. So the important thing is to start off sitting tall. So if you're sitting like this, try to just lift out of the seat. Breathing in, raise the left knee and bring the outside of the left ankle to the top of the right knee. Sitting tall. Already you may be starting to feel a stretch into the left hip. Interlink the fingers and take them in front of the left knee. And on the out-breath, draw the left knee towards the left shoulder. You can move slightly forwards from the hips, bending from the hips, not the waist. And that just brings the stretch into the left hip. There are lots of ligaments and tendons and muscles that get inflamed there. And by stretching them out, we're aiming to relieve some of the inflammation and increase some of our mobility. Keep breathing softly and naturally. Don't hold for too long. Release. And very slowly, and you'll know if that hurts when you come out of the pose, then you need to go very, very carefully. Always try to do the other side, because when we are suffering with sacroiliac pain, we limp a lot, and that throws the whole skeleton out of alignment. So part of the aim of this stretching is to realign the skeleton. Breathing in, raise the right knee and bring the outside of the right ankle onto the top of the left knee. Sitting as tall as you comfortably can. Interlink the fingers and bring them to the front of the right knee. And very gently draw the right knee towards the right shoulder until you begin to feel that stretch into the right hip. And you can lean very slightly forwards from the hips as well. But if that feels too much, then release again. Just go to the point where you're just feeling the stretch. If you're feeling the stretch, you're getting the benefits. If you're going too far, you may get a strain, and we don't want that. So now release and come back to the starting position. Relax with the palms of the hands on the tops of the thighs. And now we'll repeat that, but with a little modification in order to get the stretch into the sides of the sacroiliac joints where we get enthesitis. And that stretching there may help to relieve some of that pain that goes down through the buttocks, through the hips. Breathing in, raise the left knee, outside of the left ankle on top of the right knee. Take both hands interlinked to the front of the left knee. And this should be quite a comfortable position. Breathing in, on the out breath, draw the left knee across the body towards the right shoulder. And that moves the stretch from the left hip to the outside of the left sacroiliac joint. And that's where the stretching comes and the pain relief comes from. And if that feels good, you can just very slightly bend forwards from the hips, but keep the lift in the front of the chest. And the good thing about this is you can do this when you're sat at the chair, at the table, at work, wherever. But try to keep your technique right and your breathing. Now I can feel that moving into the left side of my left sacroiliac joint. And that feels like a nice stretch. That's what we want to get. And then release and take the left foot down to the floor. Reset your foundation. Breathing in, on the out breath, raise the right foot, bending the right knee. Take the outside of the right ankle to the top of the left knee. Keep your alignment. Interlinking the fingers again. Take them to the front of the right knee. Make sure your shoulders are level, one's not further forward than the other. Breathing in, on the out breath, draw the right knee across the body towards the left shoulder. Gradually this moves the stretch from the right hip to the right side of the right sacroiliac joint. And again, we have a lot of ligaments and tendons there that join into the bone. And by stretching them, we're aiming to relieve some of the inflammation and hence the pain and stiffness. But again, try not to use too much strength. Try to relax into this and then come out of the pose by taking the feet to the floor. Now, that may be quite enough for you, but if you felt that that was okay, I felt pretty good doing that, then we can come to the floor again and do a variation there, which is the same thing, but lying down. So again, have a pillow for under your head, particularly if when you lie down on your back and your head doesn't reach the floor, it really is essential that you have something under your head. But what you can do is just lie down like so, have a cushion under your head, take it away. If your head easily goes to the floor, then that's fine, but whichever is the most comfortable. I'm going to be more comfortable with a cushion under my head, and I'm going to be more comfortable with my knees raised. So set the foundation. The arms are straight away from the body. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, ooh, I wish I'd stayed sat up. This is too much for me lying on my back. In which case, you can just carry on as Jamie is doing, and we'll be doing the same stretches, or you'll be doing the same stretches rather, as we did before, into the hips. But if it has felt good and you feel up for it, breathing in, raise the left knee and take the outside of the left ankle to the top of the right knee. Bringing both hands interlinked to the front of the left knee. Breathing in, on the out breath, raise the right knee and the right ankle. And draw the left knee down towards the left shoulder. Tuck the chin into the chest, look down the body. Extend the right heel away if you want to. Only go as far as feels comfortable. Don't go to your maximum and then think, oh, that was too far. If you go to your maximum, come back to 80 or 90% and then breathe into it. So, by breathing into it, I mean, as you breathe in, release a little. And on the out breath, draw the left knee down towards the left shoulder. These are very small movements. And we're aiming for a release and opening here on the left side of the left sacroiliac joint. And then take the left knee down. Have the knees raised. Make sure you're aligned nicely. Breathing in, raise the right knee and bring the outside of the right ankle to the top of the left knee. Breathing in, on the out breath, take the hands to the front of the right knee, raise the left knee and the left foot until you start to feel the stretch on the right side of your right buttock. That's where the sacroiliac joint is there. That's where we get a lot of inflammation. A lot of us get inflammation there. And breathe gently into the pose. Again, release on the in breath and draw the right knee down towards the right shoulder on the out breath. So breathing in, release, and on the out breath, draw the right knee down towards the right shoulder. Keep correcting the position of the neck so that you're not arching the back of the neck. Try to avoid that. It's something we all do. Come out of the pose at any time if you're feeling uncomfortable, if you feel you've gone far enough. And now we'll just take a little break. Breathing in, raise the left knee, take the left ankle across so that the outside of the left ankle is on top of the right knee. Raise the right knee and the right foot, take the interlinked fingers to the front of the left knee. Breathing in, release, and on the out breath, draw the left knee across the body towards the right shoulder, keeping as much of the left buttock on the floor as you can. So we're not kind of rolling over like that. We're just trying to get that stretch into the ligaments and tendons, particularly on the left side of the left sacroiliac joint. You can extend the heel away if you wish. And now just breathe softly and gently into the pose. We move on the out breath because the muscles don't spasm up when we're breathing out. And try to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. There now, that's just giving me a nice gentle stretch on the left side of my left sacroiliac joint, where for many years I had lots and lots of pain. Release when you want to. Always don't overdo it. Don't hold for too long. Breathing in, raise the right knee, take the outside of the right ankle across the top of the left knee, lift the left knee, the left foot, take both hands, fingers interlinked around the front of the right knee. And on the out breath, draw the right knee across the body, it's a very small movement, towards the left shoulder, keeping as much of the right buttock on the floor as you can. This is a gentle stretch to the outside of the right sacroiliac joint. And we're trying to deal with something called enthesitis, because the inflammation can happen both in the sacroiliac joint but also around it. And if we can break up that inflammation with our breathing, our stretching, our relaxation, then that may help us to relieve some of the pain. Remember, release on the in-breath and draw to the right shoulder on the out-breath. And then release and take both feet to the floor. And to come out of the pose, just roll slowly to one side. Place the palms of both hands and come up from the sideways without twisting the spine. There we are. Some movement and stretching for your necks and for your sacroiliac joints. If you enjoyed today's sessions, please do share them with your family, your friends, and on social media.